Hey guys, how's it going? It's Rustbelt Collector here, and today we are taking a look at some 3 3/4 inch Halo figures. Something that honestly I can say I never expected to see in stores or made in general, and I'm pretty stoked that they made them, I'm not gonna lie. Now, small little caveat, I don't know, small little disclaimer. These aren't actually the first 3 3/4 inch figures that I've purchased. If you are following me on Instagram, you will see that I already posted the Warthog with Master Chief as well as a Blue Spartan. And that's because I got the Warthog and the Blue Spartan Elite 2-pack from Target about a week or two ago. Filmed reviews of those, and the reviews just weren't good. There was some quality issues, so I never uploaded them. I need to go back and remake them. And then I got these guys actually from Walmart, like in store at Walmart. So it's kind of a tricky little situation there. These will probably be uploaded before the Warthog and the other 2-pack ever get uploaded, but they will get uploaded eventually. I need to work on those. There's a lot of videos that I need to work on. Oh, videos? There's a lot of videos that I need to work on because there's a lot of good releases, you know? I got these guys, and I got the 6-inch Halo Spartans to review, and I've got the Purge Trooper to review, and oh my gosh, there's so many things to review, and so little time in the day because I also want to photograph them. But that's enough rambling. Because I've already got this one out of the package, we're going to start with the Jackal Sniper, and then we'll go to the Spartan Mark VII. Now, as you can maybe already tell, this figure is very, very detailed, and it's also very well painted and very posable. They did an excellent job, I think, of executing what is a very strange creature, the Jackal. You know, it's kind of an agile, bird-like creature, and they did an excellent job, I think, of showing that off, really. Now, this is, of course, the Halo Infinite style, so the armor is a little bit different than what we've probably seen in previous games, but I do like that the style, like the, I don't know, the look of the Jackal has definitely reverted to more of a Halo 3 Jackal. I know in like Halo 4 they kind of got really weird looking, and that's just my opinion. The style changed, but this is very much a Halo 3 Jackal, and I appreciate that. So as usual, we'll just break it down like any other figure. We'll go over accessories, and then articulation, and overall figure. Starting off, all these figures, the new 3 3/4 inch figures, come with a plastic base, which is really, really awesome. It's great for display. They do interlock. I'll show that later. And also, for something like a Jackal, he's got really small feet, and so I'm sure you probably... Of course, he's going to do it for the video. He'll do it right away for the video. He stands up on his own pretty well, but it's still easy to tip him over, so it's nice to even just put one foot on the stand, and then he's definitely not going to fall over. He also comes with this really cool new Covenant weapon. It's called a Stalker Rifle. I don't think we've seen this in previous games, although maybe it made an appearance in Halo 5 Guardians. I never played that game. I play the classic Halo games, the Bungie Halo games. I kind of lost interest after playing Halo 4, but you know, it's a cool design. It definitely looks Covenant-ish. It kind of reminds me of the old Carbine from Halo 3, so maybe that's kind of what role it will play in the game. We shall see, but he does hold it pretty well. You can kind of slip his thumb and fingers into the grip, and then his other hand comes around to grip it. And as you saw at the beginning of the video, you can kind of cock his head like that, and you can actually get him to look down the sights. So that's really nice. Good articulation and good posability with a weapon. The weapon does have a peg here on the side. Doesn't peg anywhere on the character of the Jackal. However, I think on the Spartans it should peg into their back armor. Now for articulation on this figure, we'll just go over that from head to toe. And oddly enough, first off, the jaw is actually articulated, just with a little hinge there, but it's cool, you know, you can have him screeching at the Master Chief as he's about to get headshot from a long distance away, especially on Legendary. But yeah, he's got a mouth articulation there. Then here at the head, there is a hinge and a swivel. So I'll just show that. You can get him all the way up like that, all the way down like that, and then there's also side-to-side swivel. The neck is double jointed, so there's a second hinge and swivel lower here in the neck, and that can allow for articulation down to there and back up to there. The shoulders also are hinges and swivels, so a swivel all the way around, up to about 90, down almost to his side, which is really nice. The elbow is a single jointed elbow, so there's a swivel and a hinge up to about 90, and then straight out pretty much. And then the hand, another hinge and a swivel all the way around, and then an in and out swivel there, or a hinge there rather. And the same thing for the left arm, in and out hinge on the other hand. I do wish that the weapon holding hand was an up and down swivel, but maybe they'll change that in future releases. As of right now, pretty much every single figure in both 6-inch and 3 3/4 inch is a in and out swivel. That's something that kind of carried over from the Fortnite line of figures. Then down to the torso, he has a ball jointed torso, so I mean there's plenty of side to side, pretty good forward and back. I mean this guy is actually probably the best articulated figure in the 3 3/4 inch Halo line that I've come across so far. At the hips you have a thigh swivel as well as a ball joint, so you can get them all the way forward, back. They can go outward pretty far. He's just a range of articulation. Then we get down to the kind of weird backwards knee joint, and here we have a hinge and a swivel, and a hinge and a swivel, and a hinge and a swivel. So you can swivel that around, you can extend it, you can extend this joint like that, you can swivel that joint, and then with the foot you can hinge and you can swivel that joint. So yeah, overall, I mean, this is really, really cool, really nicely designed. This figure can get into all sorts of jackal-y poses, and I'm definitely hoping that they release a standard Jackal. I'm sure they will eventually, like probably pretty early on, I would say. They'll probably go and do a normal Jackal, but yeah, if they use this mold and they make a Jackal with like a shield and the plasma pistol or whatever, I would be very, very happy. So if you see this guy in stores, I'd say definitely pick it up. I mean, for 10 bucks, you're getting a ton of value here. You get this stand, which is great, all this detail and paint apps packed into the figure. I don't see anything that is really amiss with the paint apps. There's nice line work, different colors on the bodysuit, little dots running up his leg there, and there's little lines here on his sniper mask. It just is amazing. For 10 bucks, you're probably not going to get a better 3 3/4 inch figure. Really, that goes for any of these figures, but since this is the first one I'm reviewing officially on the channel, just saying get this one. But also, I mean, if you're a Spartan lover like me, get the Spartan. Which brings us to this figure, and we gotta take a look at it, do a quick review. I did forget to mention, all of these figures, including the 6-inch, include game add-on. I don't know what the game add-on is. It says it's a in-game item. You have to redeem it on Halo Waypoint, I believe, and I haven't done that yet, so I don't know what it is, but yeah, in-game content for every figure. I don't know if that's like a one-time deal, like you buy one figure, you get a code, and it's the same item with every figure, or if each figure comes with a unique in-game item, like maybe you unlock this armor set, maybe you unlock a specific color for like the weapon skins. I don't know. We'll have to wait and see. For the packaging, it's pretty straightforward. Front bubble, picture of Master Chief, Spartan Mark VII with the pulse carbine. Honestly, I thought this was the storm rifle from Halo 4, but it's apparently not. And then on the back, you just have this picture of Master Chief running really, really fast. It's interesting that they went this route instead of like showing off other figures from the waves, since with the 6-inch figures, it actually shows like images of the different characters you can buy. I feel like that would be a good way to advertise them, especially on the cheaper line. Like a 3 3/4 inch line is definitely more geared towards buying a bunch of them. So I would love to turn this around, kind of like the old Star Wars days, and see, you know, oh, I can get this character and this character and this character, but that's just my personal opinion. I don't know. And there he is, all out of the package. Up first, let's take a look at the accessories. Up first, he has this pulse rifle, which looks really nice. The detail on the sculpt is amazing. Just a simple two-tone paint job, but really that's all you need. The only thing is, like a minor gripe, if it's even really a gripe, I would really like to have seen the Spartans come with UNSC weapons and the Covenant come with Covenant weapons. You know, because I'd like to get like an assault rifle and a DMR and a battle rifle and things like that over a Covenant weapon. But that's just kind of how I like to collect the figures. I like the Spartans to have Spartan weapons, the Covenant to have Covenant weapons. To each their own. Now, as I mentioned, these stands do interlock, so you kind of just do one of those numbers and they interlock pretty good. So if you have these on a shelf, you could come up with some sort of display with all these different ones. I think there's different colors with different characters, so really you could have a pretty interesting mix and match. There's actually different textures too, so this is like a rocky kind of grassy, like, I don't know, rocks with grass maybe, whatever you would want to call that. Nice dry brush over the top, and then this is more of like an asphalt or like a road or something, and again a nice dry brush over top of that. So it's nice that they've given us some differentiation. I think that's the right word for that. But yeah, it's really cool to have these stands. Good for display, good for shelves, and maybe even good for toy photography. If you can hide the stand somehow, it'll make it make the posing a lot easier. But then let's talk about the Spartan himself, and this is really, really cool looking. This is the Mark VII, I guess, so this is like the next generation of Spartans. I don't know what that's going to look like in the game. Like, are we going to have Master Chief was a Spartan 2, the Spartans from Halo Reach were Spartan 3s, and then I think Palmer was like a Spartan 4, so is this like a Spartan 5 now? I don't know. I've lost track of Halo lore. I lost track after playing Halo Reach. That was kind of where my Halo lore knowledge ended, but I'm interested to see what they do with these characters. They definitely have a good aesthetic. Overall, I'd say this figure is really, really cool. I mean, paint apps are actually pretty solid overall. Nothing really too bad. Nothing stands out as really inaccurate, although I don't have anything to compare it to. Bit of an annoyance though, they did have to print the identification that this is in fact a 2020 Microsoft Jazware LLC made in China, and a bunch of numbers. So that's a little bit of a but not a big deal. For articulation, it does have a pretty broad range. It's got a double ball joint in the head, so you've got plenty of side-to-side tilt. Really nice forward, pretty good back, and then for the shoulders you have a hinge and a swivel, so all the way around, well up to 90, and plenty of articulation there. Then a single jointed elbow which swivels around and hinges, pretty much bringing it to 90, which is really nice, and then a hinge and a swivel at the wrist. Now this is actually kind of surprising to me. This one has both wrists hinged up and down, which I haven't come across yet with the Halo Jazwares line, so that's really cool. The same thing happens over here. You have an up and a down on that wrist. That definitely is an improvement for weapons handling and things like that. I just prefer it that way. I prefer that on pretty much all figures, in my opinion. If they have a hand that's meant to hold a weapon, it's just better to have one hand that is hinged up and down. You can have the other one hinged however you like, but I like to have one that's an up and down hinge. And that way you can kind of get him into some more dynamic poses. It's just a kind of general rule of thumb for me that I like to have that upward hinge, because you can get poses more like this. You wouldn't be able to get that if you didn't have that upward hinge there. Maybe other people disagree with that. Maybe people like to have the side-to-side hinge, but I'm a big fan of having at least one hinge that is an up and down. I don't know if that's the correct terminology to use for it, but that's just, yeah, you get the idea. Now for the torso articulation, there's a ball joint up at the top and I believe a swivel at the bottom, so you can swivel at the waist there, or you can swivel up here at the upper torso. Yeah, you can kind of crunch it forward, back, side to side, you know the drill. Ball joint at the hip as well as a thigh swivel, so you can get it up to there, kind of swivel it to the side a little bit, bring it back to right about there. Double jointed knees, which is really impressive on a 3 3/4 inch figure, but I guess that's kind of standard for like Jazwares Fortnite figures, so it does come with the territory. However, I don't know if it's necessary, just because it does leave a pretty ugly knee joint there. I don't know if there's a way that they could improve that with the sculpt, but if we had a single jointed knee that maybe bent just a little bit less so and still kind of maintained a not so much of a right angle there, like that just looks very weird to have a cheese wedge taken out of the knee. Not that I don't like the figure or that this is like a huge deal breaker for me, but it would just be nice to have a slight reworking, a little re-engineering there on the knee. I don't really feel like I need that much articulation on a 3 3/4 inch figure. Something, at 90, at the very least 90, that would be just enough for me. But there's that, and then down at the foot we have a hinge which gets you there and there, with a forward-facing rocker giving you some nice side-to-side action. Overall, I gotta say, for a 3 3/4 inch figure, this is really awesome. The level of articulation is really nice. Like, as you can see, there's some really dynamic poses that you can get, and the way the feet are designed, it's definitely easy to just keep him posed without a stand or anything like that, which is always appreciated in case you're a person that just doesn't like to have a stand on your shelf, or, you know, you don't have enough room to have a whole fleet of stands standing around. Haha, pun intended. But either way, it's really cool, really nice to have figures like this, especially of such a beloved franchise like Halo. I will definitely be picking up probably nearly every single one, especially if they start releasing, like going back into the archives, if you will, and they start making more Halo Reach characters, more Halo ODST characters. Yeah, they're going to have me sold pretty hard on those. And last but not least, kind of forgot till the very end, just to show off that this, in fact, can slot right onto there, just like that. And that is a really firm grip. It's not going to fall out or anything like that. So that's a great way to display it, or if you have him doing some other action pose, or if you have him mounting the turret on the Warthog, whatever you got him doing, that's really nice to have a little storage access thing there. But yeah, guys, that's the review. That's the review of the 3 3/4 inch Spartan Mark VII and Jackal Sniper. I will be doing more of these, especially, like I said, I have the Warthog and the Elite Spartan 2-pack, as well as a bunch of the 6-inch figures I have yet to review. So be on the lookout for those. I'll be covering as many of these as I can, especially as more figures are released. So if you like that sort of thing, subscribe to the channel. If you're new, like, comment, share, whatever you feel inclined to do. I appreciate each and every one of you guys who tunes into the channel. As always, there's a link down in the description to my social media links, all that kind of stuff, as well as a link to my merch, which I need to be updating that, you know. I've had the same designs up for a while. I need to like revamp them a little bit, but also there is an address. That's an address to my P.O. box, and if you send anything into the P.O. box, then I will do an unboxing on the channel. But yeah, as always guys, thanks for watching, and I will catch you all in the next video.